Good afternoon, Silvana. Thank you very much for joining me
Thank
for
you for inviting
afternoon
me.
tea. So my first question to you this afternoon is, what was your childhood like?
Okay. My childhood was nice. What I remember, it was nice because I believe I lived in a time and in a town where it was quite safe. So I had the freedom to be outside in the street with all the kids playing. My parents, they didn't bother. They were not worried about the fact that, someone could approach me or something bad could happen to me. So it was good. I started having my very big responsibilities since I was 6 and I used to go to school by myself
Mm-hmm.
on bus. So at the
Mm.
beginning, my mom took me to the bus stop, and then I was with my sister. But, my sister and myself, she's 7 years bigger than me. So only for 1 or 2 years, I think we were in the same school, different classes.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so at the beginning, my sister was helping me, but then it was very natural for me to go to school by myself and come back and walk home. Um, something that impossible for me to see today. And maybe it's just the way I am, the type of mother I am with my kids, to my kids. Um, but it was nice. I really had the freedom to discover anything I wanted. I loved animals and I loved to play with frogs, wasps, bees. Not that I wasn't killing them. Um, that and my mom let me get dirty, with mud. I could actually play, you know. And today I sort of don't like my kids to get dirty, when they're playing. Now they're a bit big, 11 and 12. But at that time, when they were small, I was like, don't put your hands in the mouth because no, you can catch something. I was a little bit like that. But this is what more or less all mothers on my age are, because we've been told that you can the kids can catch bacteria and stuff like that, and my mom never bothered to anything like that. And she wasn't even worried. There was a time when I was not eating much because I was so excited to go out and play with my kids, so I didn't want to waste time eating. And she wasn't worried about the fact that, for sometimes I was not eating.
Mm.
So I really enjoyed my childhood. And I have to say that because my mom is from Naples and my dad is from Sicily, and we used to live in the north of Italy,
Mm.
and we've always had relatives in the UK. So since I was 9 months, I was traveling either in the car or by train or by plane, going to visit people and spending summer holidays either in Naples or in Sicily, most of the times in Sicily or in the UK. So I was quite lucky in that sense because I enjoyed, started to appreciate having the possibility to travel, how good it is to see different places and get to know different cultures and different
Mm.
people.
Mm.
Oh yeah, so I can say it's very positive. It's very
Mm.
positive, and
Yeah.
still today, my
Mm.
best friend is my best friend since I was 7 years old. Still today, we talk once or twice a month. We text a lot, but I have a problem, I go to her. I feel
Mm.
sad, I go to her. I'm happy, I go to her, and the same the other way around.
Mm.
So yeah.
Okay. So did you enjoy school?
Hmm. Hmm. Okay. I generally, this is me. I enjoy things that I can choose from.
Mm-hmm.
So obviously, until you are 13, you cannot choose what you can study or not, because it's like a mandatory years of schools until in Italy until you're 13, 14. So it wasn't the easiest time for me because you know, they were calling my parents and say, we don't understand if why, I mean, she is very clever, but the results are poorly, they're not good. Um, we don't understand, is there any problem in the family? Or the thing is, it was like, because I was so alive, I wanted to play, I wanted to go out, I couldn't, I was finding it very boring, the subjects that they were giving me to study. Um, then things changed when I actually decided what I wanted to study. And I decided to, when you are 14, 13, 14, then you can decide, you can become like, you can start studying languages, what I did, or psychology, or whatever. So before going to university, you can choose. And I chose to study languages. So hello, Nigel.
Hey, Silvana! I'm going to shut up now, come loud.
Okay. Yeah. So then it was different because then I was enjoying it. Then I started to appreciate, I was studying Germany, French, English, and Latin, and Italian, of course. And started to appreciate literature. So then today, the best movie is Jane Austen, Pride and Prejudice. And it was not just because it's a romantic novel, because it's based in the UK in a time of that, you know, everything was a bit different, and yeah, I really enjoy literature. And then my grades improved a lot. And then obviously I went to the university and then I chose psychology. So yeah, I think until the time when they were telling me what to study, it was like, no, I'm not going to do it. And then it changed.
Mm-hmm. So did you have any problems at school then, apart from not doing as you want, as they wanted you to?
Okay, no, not really, not big problems. Until the age of 11, I was more, 11, 12, I was more playing with guys. I didn't like to do the girly stuff. So I could get into a fight with some guys sometimes, not fight like physical fight, but you know, like, you know, kids can get like that. I can see, for example, my son, Lucas, he loves to be with tough girls. They're still girls because they like some girly stuff, but they're tough. So I was like that in a way. I was like a tough one, but I didn't like the, you know, to like, oh, that one is good looking, the other one is good. No. I like to do the boy stuff, play and, you know, do some naughty stuff in the school. So obviously, I could get sometimes in trouble, the very small things. I was never like, went to the director of the school or have been suspended or nothing like that. Never.
Okay. So you said you've got a sister who's older than you. Have you got any brothers?
No.
No? So there's
No.
just you and your sister?
It's just me and my sister, yes.
Okay. And did you have a good relationship with your sister all the way through?
I did. My sister, she's 7 years older than me. So obviously, she was playing with me until a certain age. Then she was more like a teenager, so doing teenaging stuff. And my sister, it's going to sound strange, but she's British. I mean, she has a British passport because she was born in the UK. And my mom and dad, they lived in the UK when 6 years before my sister was born, or 6 or 4, can't remember. So at the age of 18, my sister sort of felt the need to go back to the UK. She didn't want to stay in Italy. She didn't want to study in Italy. She didn't want to be in Italy. She felt like she didn't belong to Italy. So she went back to the UK. You hear my sister, the way she speaks. She speaks like you guys, with a pure British accent. Really, I mean, you wouldn't say that she's Italian. Absolutely not. So we didn't have so much time to spend together, but I was so much looking forward when she was coming back on holiday and spending time with our family, because it felt like, oh, she's going to give me so many presents. I was the little one, so I was looking for the presents and, and spending time with her, and and it was lovely. It was nice. And today it is the same. I mean, she's still the big sister, even though I'm grown up. She's still like sometimes preaching and no, you shouldn't be doing this and you shouldn't be doing that, and this. But yeah, I also have a good memory for the time that I spent with my sister. Sometimes we were fighting, of course, we were fighting, but I was a little too scared because I was too little. So I was letting her win most of the times.
Good. So you left school and you went on to further education. Was that straight to university? Yeah.
Yeah.
So which university did you go to? Was that in Italy?
I wanted to study psychology.
Mm-hmm.
At that time, when I wanted to go to the university and study psychology, the psychology was not in my city, not close to my city. It was in a complete different place. It was 2 hours away from my place. So I had to rent my place and stay. And, my mom and dad, they didn't like the fact. My mom and dad, they are from the south of Italy. They're a little bit conservative, so especially with ladies, with daughters. So they wanted to make sure that I was going to feel safe and fine. So they managed to find me an accommodation at someone's house that they knew, not directly, but indirectly. So yeah, I moved there in the house with this person, sharing a house with an old lady, and I started my studies, and I loved them a lot. It was very frustrating in the beginning because psychology, you study a lot of Freud, and in the beginning you don't understand really what it is about, but yeah. And then after the first year, they opened another university, a little one, not so far from where I live. I had to drive, so I had to drive half an hour every day, but at least I didn't have to leave. And my parents were helping me paying there, so we could, actually, my parents were paying the whole accommodation, everything. So yeah.
Okay. So you got your degree, and then you obviously had to go out to work. So what was your first job?
My first job was at the age of 15. I was working okay, my very, very first job. I was working summer in I don't know the name in English. Is one of the boys might gonna be able to help me. The shop where you buy all the screws and all the
DIY shop.
That one. I was working there.
Mm-hmm.
And I liked it. 3 months, the whole summer, and then I've been working. When I started studying university, I've been working with now I'm gonna say something really. Now, if I say the name, it's like talking about my book, because it was an event planner. I was helping a guy that had it was organizing concerts in Italy, around Italy. So, you know, in Italy in summer, we have parties. Every little place has their own 3-4 days a week of parties dedicated to the saint or the protector of that city or that town or that village. So yeah, this is what I was doing. Because I had good English, I could call the, was basically British, very old, black bands or singers like Jethro Tull or I can't remember now, but I was just contacting them and giving them a proposal and see if they could come to that party or that party, talking to the managers, and then I was organizing everything, like the hotel, the transportation, and then I was going with them to the concerts and make sure that I was their tour manager. So make sure that everything was okay, the hotel was good, they didn't need anything. And that was something that I was doing as an extra. And another job that I did, I was working in clubs. I was working as a bartender or barmaid, barmaid. Yeah, big clubs until 5 or 6 o'clock in the morning. I was doing that. So yeah, I've been doing stuff just to get to be independent and have my own money.
Okay. So when did you go self-employed?
I went self-employed about 2 years ago. I would say 2 years ago. No, before I've always been working for someone. And probably what bothered me a lot was the fact that I am 48 and I've never been able to be, I want to be my own boss, knowing the way how independent I am and how I want things to be done my way. So yeah, so that was 2 years ago. I was self-employed and I'm still trying to find my way because um, because I'm like also my ex-employers, they were saying exactly the same about me. You are like you if I asked you to do something, that thing only, in 1 month you're going to leave the job because I get bored. I want to do different things at the same time. For example, my job in here in Marbella, I was working at the beginning as a sales manager of the Italian team. But then after a while, I started like being a little bit bored to be only with Italians, dealing only with, you know, problems of the Italian team. So they had to give me the Spanish team. So I was managing two teams. But that also that like was like getting bored. So I said, okay, why don't you do what you've always done in your life, coach and business coach, or train them, or you know, stuff like that. So I started doing that, and I created the academy, the department, which was the coaching and training department of the company, of that company. So yeah, I decided then that I wanted to have a different experience and I didn't want to have a boss anymore to tell me what to do, and I wanted to do things my way. And I don't regret that I've done that, even though sometimes I think like, oh shit, oh my God, am I gonna be able to pay the rent next month? Oh shit. You know, if I were alone, I don't care. I mean, I've always been like that. Doesn't work. Okay, I go somewhere. I go to France. I go to America. I go to Germany. I don't care. But to have the kids and to not to show the kids that sometimes I'm worried because this is really new to me. But the fact that I can actually spend the time with my kids, and this is the most important thing in my life, are my kids. And I don't have to go to work at 8 o'clock, deal with a lot of problems, having huge responsibilities, having, yes, a good salary, but still, you're coming back, you're exhausted, you don't even have the strength to play with your kids. I said, no, no, no. no, this is not. I said, no, I need to change something. So I did.
So, what was your first self-employed business?
I've always been doing the coaching and training, sales training and coaching. Then, as you know, how interested I am in helping people with anxiety and stress and self-esteem. I can see that my interest is going that way. And I can see also when I write now, because I find myself liking it more and more, writing articles or writing now books or writing anything really. That aspect of myself is coming out. I really like taking care of the people that you know, is suffering from anxiety and stress and panic attacks and self-esteem. Why? Because I know I can help. I know I can help because I've got the experience, and I know I can help because I had it myself, and I am perfect. I'm perfectly capable to help someone out on this. So yeah, that was my first experience as self-employed.
Okay. And what would you put your success down to? Is it luck, hard work, or something else?
I am a very hard worker. I am very stubborn. And the other thing that I think is my quality, I think is the same in English, versatile. It's like when you can adapt to different environment, different subject, and different areas. And not that you can adapt because you're forced to adapt, is because you, as I said, I tend to like more than one thing at the time. And my friends, they say about me that when I want something, even though they say, Silvana, when you want something, even though you don't even know how to start with, you do it. For example, I didn't know how to create I didn't even know what WordPress was. I didn't know how to create a web page. I did it. I did more than one now, and I created my own web page. I didn't know how to do some SEO of the web page. Been reading it, learning how to do it, and now I do it. So what I think is that in general, if you want to be successful, you need to adapt a little bit to the flow. You need to adapt yourself. You cannot expect things to be exactly how you want them to be. You just adapt. And if that is not working, okay, you try another way. And that is not working, you try another way. So yeah.
Okay. So you have a lot of experience in psychology. How do you think that has shaped your life?
Well, that has always helped me, especially in relationships. When I mean relationship, any type of relationships, friendships, relationships with employees, relationships with my bosses, or with, you know, people I used to work with. And also it helped me a lot to adapt and understand better any culture. Remember, I was traveling, I was living in Crawley at that time, and I had an apartment, and Crawley was very expensive. I had my apartment there, and I couldn't even stay there a week because my boss was like, today you're going to be a week in Florida, the day that following week you're going to be 3 weeks in France, in Paris. And then so I was constantly traveling, and at the beginning it was like, how am I going to do this with different cultures? The way they talk, the way they express themselves, the way I was giving training and coaching them. So it's like, how am I gonna get them to take me, that I'm serious, to look serious and, follow me. Psychology, the fact of having studied psychology is understanding their body expression, face expression, understanding their culture was much easier for me. It did help me a lot, really.
Okay, so you obviously had a lot of jobs where you were allowed to travel the world. That must have been exciting, a good experience for you.
Yeah, it was really. This is thanks to the UK. I've always been and will always be grateful to the UK because I found in the UK that at the beginning when I got there, I was waitressing. First move there, I wanted to have fun, and it was just waitressing. Then I said, okay, now I want something more. So now I want to get like a good job, sort of good job and more serious money. So I did. I was working in a company, General Electric, and I was getting good money. And then I wanted more. So when I wanted more, I said, what do you really want? And I said, now I want to travel as well. So I applied for this position, and I know I was going to have great opportunities because I had everything that they were requesting, basically. I could speak the languages, I was available for traveling, I had anything they were looking for. So I got the job. And it was very nice because I was traveling like crazy. I had the possibility to meet so many people and understand so many cultures. And for me, it was just great. It was great. I think it was the best time of my life. It lasted years as well, because it lasted 4 years, this traveling. I mean, for me, having a passport in the hand, it was like for some other people, I don't know, having a cup of coffee, because I was constantly traveling. But I mean, constantly, like in a week, I could have 3-4 flights. And then sometimes I could stay like in the US, in Las Vegas, I could stay like 3 weeks. So during the weekends, I was having, you're making friends when you go from the company. So you spend time with them. So it's not only work and then you're alone on your free time. So it was the best time of my life before I had my kids, obviously. Then obviously that changed. And
So you came to England and then you went back to Italy or went to Spain?
I came to England. I lived in England for, in total, 8 years. During these years, the same job that I had in Crawley asked me to have 1 year in Milan because there was some job, some project, and I accepted. Then I met my ex, the father of my kids. And obviously he's a pilot, so he was traveling more than me. So we were like, okay, now one of the two have to choose what to do because he's Swedish. He never lived in Sweden because he's been traveling like crazy, obviously, being a pilot, and he didn't like the UK. So, and I said, I'm not sure I can cope with Stockholm or Sweden, but I gave it a try because I got pregnant. So I moved to Stockholm and I lived in Stockholm. And at the beginning, it wasn't bad. Freezing, really. And couldn't get used to it. And then people is saying, come on, but you lived in the UK. In the UK, it is freezing. And I said, yeah, but I was never in the UK. I was traveling so much that even if I was in the UK, I was probably enjoying my sofa with my blanket and my book. So, and then the day after I could go to Las Vegas, and so I had many breaks. But anyway, then I had Lucas, and I didn't really care where I was living. The only thing it was being with my son at that time, and when Richard was available and was not working, and then I had Alicia. So because Lucas and Alicia are 1.5 years difference between them, and then when I lived there for years, and then when Alicia was 9 years, I said, this is not working for me. I mean, this is not quality of life. The light for the kids is too little. In winter, it's 3 hours. I have to rush to take the kids out to get some fresh air and to get some light. This is not working for me. This is no quality of life. So I said, listen, I want to go south. I said, okay, let's go to Italy. I said, no, Italy's too cold. Italy's too cold in winter too. I said, let's go south. So we tried here. We came here. We rented for a while to see if everybody was feeling comfortable. And we decided to stay. And this happened 9 years ago or 10 years ago, something like that.
Okay. So you settled in Italy, and you're still there where you were?
Marbella, Spain.
Marbella. Sorry, Marbella. You then moved to Marbella then?
Yeah. Then I moved
Italy
to Marbella.
Yeah.
From Stockholm to Marbella, yeah.
Yeah. So recently you've written a book and you've become an author called A Trip to London. So that came about, I assume, by you coming to England.
Exactly. There is a little bit of everything in that book. There is a little bit of, and I think this is for authors in general, but this is going to be my philosophy and my idea also for my next book. What I think is that in every book we write, there is a little bit of truth, a little bit of things that have happened, a little bit of things that you wish have happened, but they haven't.
I like it.
No, like, I'm not going to say which part now. we don't want to go there. But or things that have happened and you wish that they hadn't happened, such as a bad ex, or So I think any book, this is going to be the first one, and this is what, if I analyze myself and the book from the outside, I see myself in some parts. I can't see myself in other parts at all. I can see myself wishing that thing. There is a little bit of everything, but yes, there is a huge influence of, I've been influenced by the UK, by my culture in Sicily, because it's based between Sicily and London. So yeah.
Okay. And you enjoy reading Jane Austen. Did that have an influence as well in you writing your book?
Absolutely. This was inspired by Jane Austen when Pride and Prejudice, because when I saw, there are some similarities that I'm not going to explain here because they are so small that cannot be perceived by any other person, only by me, because I can see in the culture that thing. But it was inspired by the way the novel was described by Jane, and yes, definitely, I was really influenced by Jane Austen.
And you've written the book in English.
Oh my God. Never again. Never again.
Which is quite fascinating, considering you're born, you were born in Spain and Italy.
Yeah, but that is some of those things that my friends say, Silvana, this is one of those things of you that don't make sense. I say, I know, but it is like this. I mean, that didn't make sense to me, but I want it that way. And now I understand, why did you do it that way? It took you so much time to do it, because obviously what I want to do for next one, what I'm doing for next one is write it in my Italian, my good Italian, the way that my style. And then from there, just translate it. And then you will still have an Italian writing a book in Italian, but translated in English. So you still send that message with your style, and not the translator style, because I want things to be said exactly like the way I'm talking. I'm not talking in a British way. I'm talking like an Italian that speaks English, and this is the way I want my books to be read and to be understood, to be perceived.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so obviously people can get your book if they're interested. Well worth reading. Where can they get it from?
Amazon. For now, it's in Amazon. And a couple of places in websites in Spain. I've nearly finished the Italian version. So when that is done, I will have more time to dedicate to the marketing. But for now, it's Amazon.
Amazon. Okay. So if you had to live your life again, is there anything that you would change?
Yes. Yes, I would. The main thing is that obviously it's easy to say it now, because I am where I am, and I've experienced whatever I experienced. But if I could, I'm gonna say it like that, I wouldn't give a shit about what people think, being worried to apply for that position rather than the other one. And I had so many like, oh my God, what these people gonna think? And then if I'm not capable to do that, who gives a shit, really? You go for it, just go for it. This is what I say to my kids, just go. Who cares what people think? You fail. It's a lesson in life. Keep going. Don't bother what people says. And that is something that obviously coming from my culture. My mom was constantly, my mom on this side, my dad on the other side. Oh, what people's gonna think if you do that? But and it's like now, thank God I understood that, so I can teach my kids not to bother about what people think, because what people think, if you're not careful, it's going to become what you think that you think. And that is a stop in your life. That is preventing you from doing so many things that only now, at the age of 48, I understood. I had that chance and I didn't take it. Why? Because I was too scared. Why? Because I was listening to this inner voice saying, what happens if, So yeah, this is definitely what I will do. It doesn't matter, because at least I'm here now to tell my kids.
Okay, so anybody that wants to ask Silvana any questions?
Yeah, I have a question, Silvana. You spoke about a book now, and you're going to write a second book, and you're going to let us into your secret, what it's going to be about, or?
Okay, I think that is my style will only be, I was telling Jay yesterday, my books, my movies, everything have to be 0+ age. I'm not the type of person that can watch thrillers or scary movies or stuff. No, because I just want to feel happy. And the way I feel happy is just watching 0+ movie. Very easy and very relaxing. So my style is available for everyone, every age. And this time I think is going to be a little bit more complicated, but still a romantic novel. Very romantic.
I haven't got a question as such. I just wanted to say, well done to you, girl. Well done to you.
Thank you.
I remember when we first spoke and you were telling me about the book, and I could see the pressure under your eyes, and I could feel the tension coming through the screen about this book. So when I saw it, you'd released it, I was like, hallelujah. I just knew that you, as it now, you'd landed. So well done. Absolutely fantastic.
No, thank you. And thank you for supporting me. Thanks a lot. Well, I cannot even explain how good it feels when you finish. I mean, you feel so good. I look at myself and you go, you did it.
Go girl.
And all the times that you're saying, no, I cannot do it. Oh, I cannot do it. You see, you made it, Silvana. Well done.
I think the nice thing for you as well is it's, obviously I've come in halfway through, so I didn't hear the whole story, but it sounds like, other than your children, she's like one of the biggest things that you've done for yourself. For yourself, not for him or her or them or us.
Correct.
For me. And absolutely, you know something, float on that wave of how you feel for as long as you can.
Absolutely.
Until you start the next book, and you'll be like, oh,
of course.
Why am I doing this again? But no, honestly, I'm so honoured to be a part of knowing that you had started it and being the fact that you've seen it. So honestly, but just feel, ride that crest. Ride that wave. Definitely.
Oh, thank you. You had very nice words for me right 2 months ago when we spoke about that, and that was really, even if it didn't seem like that, but it really meant a lot to me, because that was an extra motivation that I needed at that time.
Absolutely.
And you telling me those words, it was like, okay, I have the shot for today, shot of energy.
Well, I think one of the things which came across was that you were still trying to kind of seek a bit of validation. Like, don't worry about them people. They're not paying your mortgage. Get on with doing your thing. And honestly, it's just amazing. It's so great to see. And I suppose it's the same for Karen and Jay and Mandy, because they've known you and they've watched your journey from way back when, and they've heard what you're doing, and they've waited and waited. And honestly, how good you feel now, just keep remembering this feeling. Or, if you ever have a day where it's like, celebrate, go back to this win and realise that, that day, that's all right. Look what I've done. You have done something which 94% of the population of the world will never, ever do.
Absolutely.
Wow.
Absolutely. And this means a lot also with Karen. She's my coach, and she's been telling me, she's been maintaining my persistence alive. When I was going down, she was like, no, you cannot come up again. I was like, no, come up again. Week after week after week. And I've learned so much that now I can say that now I can do it for someone else.
Absolutely.
You have a big project, a big thing is like, I can help you anytime you're low, I drag you up.
Excellent. And I think that's what the world is about, really, isn't it? I suppose if you kind of really kind of strip it all back, it is really about, well, how can you get someone to have a better day? How can you help someone to move on? And that's the nicest feeling to have, knowing that, they follow that advice and it's changed their direction. They're doing different things. But honestly, what you've achieved, just make sure you always celebrate it, because it's a huge, huge thing. You'll probably find now that us four are trying to get our book started now.
I will help you. I will help you in anything I have and I can.
I think Karen's got at least several books in her. Do you know that she used to what did she used to do? She used to something to do with men. Was it men?
That sounds...
Okay. Karen, you never told me. What was that?
It was in one of her job roles. She had to
Oh
do
yeah,
something.
one of my job roles, I used to sell, after having a drink of a Sunday evening, and if I had a bit too much to drink, I'd pick up the phone, cold calling companies and saying, we sell forklift truck training and man handling courses. Do you want to book
That's it.
onto any?
Man handling. She was looking for men to handle. I mean, you still haven't done that as a post, have you? Have you done that as a post yet?
Yeah, no.
I mean,
No way. No.
The
My name's
amount
Karen
of
Moore, I handle
business I
men.
used to get because I used to get the words wrong. The
My name-
women were interested in the man handling courses.
Of course they were. Oh, so how do you handle men then, Karen? Pray tell.
Come on, tell me the secret. Come on.
Well, I mean, that's why you've got a book in you. Jay's got a book in him. Mandy's got a book in her. I've got a book in me. But
Done 3 books already.
that's what I mean. But honestly, you are an inspiration, Silvana. And
Good.
good on you. And thank you for carrying on and doing it and getting there.
Can
Thank
I...
you very much.
Can I just interject? And I would second everything that Nigel has said. I mean, when I found your book. I'm not a reader of fictional novels ordinarily, but I found your book absolutely captivating. And not just from a story perspective. It's a very beautiful story, and I found myself getting very drawn into the characters. As you know, Silvana, there was one part where Anita, the boss's daughter, was a and what I texted to
You have to say what that first. Come on, now you have to say that.
To Silvana in Italian, Anita è una puttana, which basically means she's a bitch, you know, but in Italian it means a stronger word than bitch. But
He was so pissed off about what one of my character did in the book that when he was reading it, he texted me, "Oh, she's a bitch."
No, and you know what's so powerful about what he's just said there? It's what we teach in marketing. You know, in a book, you're invoking emotions.
yes, exactly.
You know, it's that powerful, and Jay's imagination has allowed him to actually shape that vision. That whole reality's playing out in front of him, and he's like, "Oh, it's like when you watch Coronation Street or one of the soaps. You go, oh, he's old bullies," and you think it's a soap.
You shout extreme.
And to be able to do that with words, Silvana, it's a superpower. And you know, kudos to you, man. Kudos to you.
Yeah.
Well, I was going to say, I mean, that there were other parts where I did actually cry, you know,
Wow.
and I actually found myself getting protective to the main character, Bea, you know.
Can I have a copy of this book, please? How do I order it?
It's on Amazon. So, yeah, hats off to you. Absolutely brilliant. You've actually inspired me, and I'm actually going to next year, after Christmas is out of the way, and after I've got all my other shit out of the way that you know about, I'm going to start writing a novel. I've got a few ideas in my head for a few different novels, but you've inspired me, so thank you for that.
Well, Jay, you've written quite a few books already, haven't you? Poems and stuff.
I've written a business book. I've written a poetry book, and I've compiled 2 poetry anthologies.
Yes, I remember you saying.
But my question to you, Silvana, is: are we going to see a sequel to A Trip to London? See what happens to Bea and Danny afterwards?
Honestly, everybody is asking me that. What do you want me to say? The details about them having sex or what? Because
What?
Well, not quite that detailed, you know. But you know, their life, you know, do they actually make it as a couple, or do they, you know?
Oh, you can't be asking stuff like that. You're stealing the thunder now.
no, but I think that is it. I mean, they are a couple. because
Okay.
but the thing is that after there have been so many divorces in life, in the world, it's like I want it to end it like this, so everybody stays with that memory of them together. So no, I'm gonna write a new one of make another couple, create another couple. I don't know, let's say.
Fantastic, absolutely fantastic.
I think also there are throughout the book there are a lot of life lessons as well. I can see your psychology and your NLP experience. There are a lot of life lessons, and I think we were actually talking about this, and I mean we were that moment where she has that close my eyes and jump moment. I think everybody who wants to get on in life will come to that point where they have to close their eyes, have faith in the process and jump.
Yeah.
And I mean, from whether it's coming out with your sexuality, whether it's leaving a boyfriend or a partner or an abusive husband or wife, or leaving that job where the boss is uno stronzo, that's an a-hole in Italian.
Yeah.
When whatever it is, you have to sometimes, or even just going self-employed, getting it or moving like Bea, she does one of the bravest things that anyone can do, especially a young person, to actually leave the family home against the without the approval of of her parents and her family and her older siblings and her younger siblings, who are like, I don't, Becky, please don't leave, I'm going to miss you, all those things. And she's moving to a new area, a new country, so when you're leaving the family nest and you go somewhere else and you do something for yourself. So I think there's a lot of life lessons in the book. And it's as much a personal development teaching tool as it is a beautiful novel. The ending was was just beautiful. It made me cry. But
two things then. Firstly, Jay, go and leave a review on Amazon about the book.
I tried to. He wouldn't let me.
I was going to say, I can't see it now. Have you done a launch of this, like an actual launch where on your page with someone like Jay talking to you about the book, live video shared?
No, I haven't done that.
Why?
Karen has been telling me to. Do you remember, Karen?
We did the
yeah.
book review with 3 new authors that is on the YouTube.
I don't want to know about the other 3. I want to know about you. No, what I'm saying is, why don't you do a book launch? And I think Jay will be perfect for it because he's read the book and he can ask you some quite detailed questions without giving too much information away. Have it as an event, have it as an official book launch. You can almost say that the book's launch was a soft launch. This is the official launch. And you could even very, very loosely talk about the characters. As I say, what Jay's has said to you, if I was watching that, interested in the book, I'd be like, whoa, this guy's like, because Jay, I'm not being funny, you're talking about these characters like they live next door to you.
Yes.
Now,
that's how real the book is.
That's how powerful it is. And my fear is that I'm hearing about this powerful narrative, but you ain't told the rest of the bloody world, man.
Yeah.
Come on, Silvana. Come on, girl.
I will say, Nigel, and to Silvana as well. Silvana and Karen saw my post. One of my, I've had, and it was inspiration from you, Silvana. One of the things I'm planning on doing once I've got all the systems set up and I've got work, a bit of client work which I'm catching up on out the way, I'm going to be launching a new vodcast and podcast highlighting authors. I want you to be my first guest, by the way.
Thank you very much.
You were the you were the inspiration for that idea that gave me that idea, that aha moment. I thought, well, how can, because you know I want to support you.
Thank you, absolutely.
Yes,
That's great.
but see,
Silvana.
that will come. What I was thinking with regards to the book launch, if Nigel might agree or disagree, I don't know, and obviously it's your call, Silvana, but once you've got the Italian and the Spanish versions finished and published, then you could have an official book launch, and we could say it is in Italian, Spanish, and English. It's available in 3 languages, and once we've got that video produced, we can then work on getting subtitles. So obviously I'm going to be if it was me interviewing you, I would interview you in English because that's my language, and you speak English. But we could then work on having the subtitles for Italian and Spanish. So
Problem with that, Jay. Timescale, mate. You're talking February, March of next year. Why lose this momentum? Go on there, get it done. I've looked on Magic Retreat. You've got almost 1,000 people. You haven't done a video on there to say, hey, look at my wonderful book.
Yeah, this is something that I was looking on Fiverr to get a video about the book.
Look, I'm not being funny, Silvana. I'd rather have a video of you talking about the book than some airy-fairy creative stuff that you've paid money for. Listen, stop wasting time, both of you. And you, Jane. Oh, wait for it in Spanish, Italian. What you're talking about is sometime next year. I'm talking about sometime this week or next week.
No, you're right. You're absolutely right. Because
time.
No, you're absolutely right. You're absolutely. We were talking yesterday, Karen. Do you remember? I said something.
Honestly, it's criminal that I'm on your Magic Retreat page, and the only thing you've done is, oh, here's my book, and that's it. Come on, girl, you got power, superpower. Do you think Superman says, I'm going to save the world, I'm going to hide under an iceberg? Come on, man. Come on.
Yes.
Come on.
Yes,
You know,
I will.
Wallow in your greatness. You could do a live tomorrow or Thursday or Friday. Jay could join you. You know, yes, I know about the Italian and German. When that comes out, do it again. Don't wait.
Yeah, you've got a point there, actually. Yes.
Don't wait.
Point.
Time waits for no man or woman. So get it done.
Let's sort that out.
Get it sorted.
Yeah.
Let me know
absolutely.
when it is, and then add a date. And instead of just doing it, let's talk about it. This is what's happening. Come and look at the page. Going to be a great event. Question and answer with one of our own, our own book. I mean, you've got Karen's group, you've got my group, you've got the networking groups that you're on. You've got Magic Retreat, you've got your own face-to-face. Listen, if between those 4 or 5 places you can't get 15, 20 people to watch.
Yeah.
Don't forget, once the video's on, it can be repurposed and it can be shown in other places.
Yeah.
It can be valuable, especially if you've got Jay talking about these characters like they're bloody next door neighbours. Oh, that Bayo, I tell you what, I'll bloody give us something like that, you know. Yeah, it's fictional. No, she's not fictional. She's bloody real. but honestly, it's so powerful. And I've not read the book, but to hear how he spoke about it, I know it's a very, very powerful. And you ain't doing it a service by keeping it hidden. Come on, girl. Get it out there, please.
And I bet Nigel will go and get that book because he'll want to read it.
I want to read that book now.
I'll tell you what, Nigel, go and get it. It's a fantastic read.
I want to read it, but
I loved it.
Don't let the people who, you know, there's a bit of blurb there. That doesn't do, listening to Jay talk for 20 minutes does it more justice than that bit of blurb. But don't let those people whose lives, let's be honest, whose lives it might change. Let's be honest, a good story can change your life because you get to your brain thinking. Don't let them miss out on an opportunity. Because
no, absolutely, you're right. Absolutely, you're right. And I've got also in my mind the exact image of how I want the video with me reading.
I mean, and the thing is, you can do the professional video later. the book's not going anywhere. But what I'm saying is, don't lose that crescendo, that energy you've got now about this whole project.
The momentum, yeah, absolutely. Don't waste the momentum. I absolutely agree with you. Totally agree with you.
Are we gonna get an audio version of the book?
Oh, Silvana speaking Italian. Oh,
Oh my God.
can't understand a word of it, but it sounds great.
No, I would actually. I mean, I know that I know that's questions already been asked by me in before. I think it was in. I'm not sure whether it was in on a Zoom or whether it was just in the private. I think you mentioned something about possibly getting somebody else to, a professional voiceover artist to read it. But
Yeah.
having read the book, having lived through the story, because I did live it, my personal feeling is that as the author, you would be the best person to. Okay, you've got an Italian accent, which is beautiful, and it's beautifully set for the book because the book is about an Italian woman. So, I mean, I've had all ideas about turning this into a film, a movie.
Oh my God.
And that's the thing. Let's not laugh about it. Things like this happen, but it all happens because someone reads it. It invokes an emotion. They go attached to a character, and like you've already said, what's happening in the next one? You're going to develop. You always want to know what the next bit's going to be. You've already, Jay, in your mind decided, right? These guys need to walk this different journey. What will Silvana do? Silvana say, they're dead now. I'm going to think of somebody else to write about. But that is bloody powerful. I'm thinking about books that I've written, and I think in all of my time of reading in the last 20 years, there's been maybe 2 books where I've finished a book and I've been upset because there's no more to read. And I've contacted the author and says, when are you doing part 3? And he's come back and says, when I get round to it. One of those books was 5 years ago. He sent me a message last week to say that the second one's out. I'm like, I can't remember the bloody story now. But honestly, please don't lose the momentum. Honestly, because that will carry you. Every time you see a sale, the reviews, when you see those reviews going on, that's why the way, Jay, you've got to get that review on, mate. The way you're talking about that, she just sold another 10 books off your words alone. Seriously. If you could do a video review, even better.
Yeah.
But seriously, please don't lose that momentum. We're about to do some work with 2 clients who've got books, and both of them have released these books. One of them 18 months ago, one of them this year, and they've done nothing with them. They're like, I thought people would buy it. So where did you market it? I went networking. I'm like, get off, man. Get off with you. The whole world could be helped with this. I'm just doing networking. Boo that. Get it out there, girl. Could change your whole year next year. Imagine if someone said, Silvana, we saw your book. We want to turn it into a movie. How great would you feel?
Oh, imagine.
Hey, don't forget your friends, though.
Never.
I do know a lady just up the road from me in Cannock. She's a movie maker.
Oh, wow.
She's a filmmaker. So, and I am actually thinking of contacting her and asking her, possibly sending her a copy of the book,
send her the book.
And saying, how do you fancy turning this into a movie? Obviously, we'd have to discuss that.
Jay, I think you'd have to let the lady read it first.
Yeah, well, of course, yeah. Might send it to her as a Christmas present.
Yeah.
Give
her a follow-up course. Hey, what do you think of that book? And then see what she says then. And then, do you think it'd turn into a good play or something? Let her tell you. You know what I mean? Thing is, as soon as you say to someone, I'm going to send you something, I think it'd be a good movie, what you've said to them is, I don't trust your opinion, I'm telling you what you should do. Of course, yeah. You send it and make her eulogize the way that you eulogized about it. And they say, well, you do films. Yeah. What do you think about this being a film? If she talks about it the way you do, Jay, it's going to be a film. But honestly, Silvana, get it out there, girl.
Okay.
Don't let me get to January the 1st and not see nothing. I'll be phoning you. I'll be like, hey, Silvana, we've got to have words.
I know. I want give you the possibility to tell me off in the future, and I'll make you proud.
Because we are coming to Marbella. Karen's going to sort it out. We're going to come over there and cause some carnage. And
come on,
Karen,
guys.
we're going to have we're having a retreat.
Come on.
Marbella retreat.
Yeah.
So, and you, Mandy, you're coming as well.
Of course.
Yeah. So hopefully towards the end of next summer, we'll be over there. We can celebrate your book.
And party.
Party. Bloody right.
And party on the beach.
Bloody right.
It's like in the book.
Yeah. Well, honestly, fantastic. Really fantastic. It's the reason I dialed in, to be fair, because I wanted to say well done.
Thank you.
Hearing Jay talk about it, like I say, you should. Have you recorded this, Karen?
Yes, I have.
What you could do is edit this video and just take snippets of Jay's praise of the book and repurpose that.
Oh yes, John.
Hey, John.
Hi, Goldie.
Hello. Say hello to everybody. Hello.
Hi, Goldie.
You've been very good, haven't you?
Goldie, that's a DJ, isn't it?
I know.
Goldie.
Just have a look, aren't you? Yeah. See what you like.
But honestly, fantastic.
I'm going to have to get somebody to edit this
Because the dog.
because of the dog.
Oh, sorry.
The dog adds a cuteness to the level
Yes,
of...
yes.
I can try. I've got a program. I can try and edit it. I can try, Karen. If you can send it to me.
I was going to offer.
Oh, please then, Jay, if you... Okay, I'm sure.
What you do, slice it up, the parts where you're talking about the book, and then all you do is those will become individual videos of probably 15, 20 seconds. Put a title, 5 words or testimonial regarding Silvana Skibeta, I can't even say your name, latest book. And that becomes a little advert, which you can use as an Instagram story, a Facebook story, a WhatsApp group thing. But if
I'll do that straight away.
If you've got 5 or 10 of those, you know, and then you go and get some testimonials from other people who've read the book.
Yeah.
You've got yourself a show reel of 10 or 15 people talking about this book, but they're all talking about it from a place of emotion, not fact. This is how it made me feel. Oh, that character, she really got me angry. I wanted her to not do that, but she did.
Yeah.
I can't wait for the next book because I need to see what Silvana's going to do about Bea. How dare she leave? How dare she treat her so bad? Jay, she's not real. I don't care. She's real. You know, that is... Honestly, when was the last time you heard someone talk about a book in that way?
Yes, yeah, you're absolutely right. I wanted to punch the one guy in the face.
I'm sitting here thinking about the last time I heard someone talk about a book, and I haven't spoken about it the way you spoke about this one, Jay. It's been very like, oh, well, you know, no disrespect. Lady Adi had a business book come out a couple of weeks ago. It doesn't compare because it's business, but even she wasn't as passionate about her book as what Jay's is about your book. And I was like, wow. So, no, man, fantastic.
Yeah, thank you very much. I'm very happy. Feel very proud of myself.
And you should.
I'd say you should
be proud, girl.
What I will say is thank you for joining me, Silvana, for afternoon tea today.
Inviting me, Karen. Thanks a lot. Thanks everyone. And guys, if I have inspired you and you want to, you know, I am here and I am available. If you need any suggestion, help, support, I'm here in anything I can do for you. And thank you very much to everyone for your support. I really, really appreciate it. And sometimes I think that I wouldn't have done it without great people like you supporting me. Really, thank you very much.
Fantastic. Well done.
Thank you.